Hello everyone, and thank you for clicking on this video. Let me begin by saying there is a very urgent and serious situation taking place right here in the United States of America. I ask you to give me just a few moments of your time. I'm not going to make a long, drawn-out video. I'm going to do my best to get right directly to the point. I'm going to provide you with a link to this article and one more I'm going to take you to in a moment below in the description box right above where you would leave your comments. Now, people are coming up missing. I want you to understand something. People are being rounded up and put in internment camps against their will. We are in the end days. We're looking at what's taking place on the world stage as it's lining up with end-time Bible prophecy. We see what the Pope is doing now in Israel, dividing the land of Israel, siding with Palestine. We're seeing one event after the other: Russia, Crimea, the Ukraine, China, North Korea, South Korea. But we need to look right here close to home. This is a very serious situation. For those of you that are just tuning into my channel, and for those of you that are new to my channel, now my channel name is Hyungs, H-Y-U-N-G-S, but my name is Pastor Dave Zacher. Most people that have been a long-time viewers and subscribers just call me PD or Pastor Dave. I head Trumpet of God Ministries. The website is trumpetofgodministries.com. I am a street preacher. I am a minister. And I run an inner city outreach and intervention for the homeless. Now, I want to draw your attention to this because we are turning a blind eye to a very serious situation when we're looking at the Antichrist system that is already in place. We see what's going on with the earthquakes and fireballs racing across the sky, and the Pope in Israel and dividing the land of Israel. We see all the Bible prophecy, but we got to look at the Antichrist agenda, which is part of the New World Order, the evil demonic infiltration of world leaders. Agenda 21. Where they want to reduce the population, and it's happening now. And they're doing it now, and it's taking place right under your nose, and I want to make you aware of this. And it's happening first with the homeless. I've done videos. There are shopping carts lined up in California that the homeless were using, and they can't find the homeless people. I've done numerous videos where they are being rounded up and placed in these FEMA camps, internment camps, that are basically a prison with an armed guard, and they can't leave. They're being arrested. If you're trying to help the homeless, they're going to give you a fine and arrest you. Now let me explain this to you, because a lot of people don't understand the plight of the homeless today and what's taking place. Because a lot of times you can't take a camera in, you can't take pictures. A lot of the homeless shelters and a lot of the homeless themselves, they are afraid that their face is out on YouTube or out on Facebook, that some family members will somehow see them and spot them, and they're trying to keep their dignity. And this has to be understood. Let me present this article to you. 7 things about homeless kids you probably didn't know. We don't think much when we think about homeless people, about children. There are more than 1.6 million homeless children living in the United States, says the National Center on Family Homelessness. That's 1 in every 45 American kids who goes to sleep at night without a bed to call their own. Families with young children now account for about 1/3 of the homeless population. And in case you are wondering why, the recession caused a 50% jump in the number of students identified as homeless in school districts throughout the country. This was planned. This was a planned attack by our government. Here are 7 things about being a homeless kid that you probably didn't know. Number 1, making friends is harder when you're homeless. How are you going to make a friend? Carrie Fuller, who lives in her car with her 11-year-old daughter Maggie, Warren in the Pacific Northwest, said she cringed when she recently took Maggie out to play in a park. Things were going fine until someone asked her child where she lived. Fuller explained, "It's the death knell question. The one that throws the wet blanket on the play date, and it usually is just a matter of seconds before the other kid takes off in the direction of someone else." I'm going to keep going on a little bit. I promised I wouldn't make a long video. Birthdays can be disappointing for a homeless child. Forget having a big party with lots of friends coming over. Sure, you can have a party in the park if it's a nice day, but who is going to pay for the pizza and cake? And if people give you presents, where will you put them anyway? This year, Birthday Dreams brought over a cake and a gift when Maggie turned 11. For the past 5 years, Birthday Dreams has been providing birthday parties to homeless children in the Puget Sound area. A lot of homeless kids have never seen their name on a birthday cake. Canned food drives don't actually make much sense. They can't cook. Do we understand this, the need? Where are homeless people supposed to cook all the cans of food you collect? Gift cards, which is what we do, or a credit to the grocery store where they can buy fresh fruit and pre-made meals make more sense. But canned food. Homeless kids aren't as healthy as kids with home. I just want to draw your attention to this. Homeless kids try, but are more likely to struggle in school. They don't have a home to go to with electricity where they can study and do their homework. They run to the library, which now, with all the budget cuts, that's a thing of the past. It's about homeless kids put up with a lot of daily indignities, small things that you probably don't realize. They appreciate getting a used clothing donation, but once in a while they like to wear something without some other kid's name written in it. Let me take you to another article now. I'm just trying to draw your attention to this. This is Bible prophecy. This is on headline news on NBC News, and I know it's lamestream media. Food feud. More cities block meal sharing for homeless. They're trying to eliminate them. In Detroit, Michigan, they're rounding them up in vans, in police vans, and taking them, driving them out of the city with nowhere to go. More American cities are blocking individuals and ministries from feeding homeless people in the parks and public squares. This is a crisis, and several Americans have been ticketed for offering such charity, according to a forthcoming report by the National Coalition for the Homeless. To date, 33 cities have adopted or are considering such food sharing restrictions, according to the coalition, which shared with NBC News a draft of its soon-to-be published study. Police in at least 4 municipalities, Raleigh, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Birmingham, Alabama, Daytona Beach, Florida, have recently fined, removed, or threatened to jail private groups that offer meals to the homeless instead of letting government-run service agencies care for those in need, the advocacy group reports. So far, I've only faced a little bit of scrutiny for feeding the homeless. Homeless people are visible in downtown America, and cities think by cutting off the food source, it will make the homeless go away. It doesn't, of course, said Michael Stoops, Director of Community Organization for the National Coalition of the Homeless, based in Washington, D.C. We want to get cities to quit doing this, Stoops said. We support the right of all people to share food. Now, let me just move on ahead. I want you to read these articles. Here are Debbie and Chico Jimenez, who run a ministry, same as I do, to help people in poverty. They were ticketed last week, $373 apiece, along with 4 other people, for feeding about 100 homeless people at a Daytona Beach park. This is the crisis. This is where it begins. This is where the roundup begins. You're never going to get anywhere arresting priests, pastors, and imams in the street. And this is what it's come to now. Now, if you're a Christian your public enemy number one. You're number one on the terror watch list. Now, if you're a pastor, a minister out helping the homeless, they want to arrest you. They want to find you and imprison you. So they're going to round up the homeless, round up the Christians, round up the preachers. I just want to draw your attention to this very, very serious matter. TrumpetOfGodMinistries.com is my inner city outreach and intervention to the homeless of the inner cities. And I want to thank all of you that have supported. I will not be moved. They can arrest me. They can put me in handcuffs. When I get out, I'll go right back doing what I'm doing. I will not be stopped because this is how I am led. This is where I am led with this ministry. I want to thank those of you that have supported this ministry. I'll provide you with the link. You can go to the website, TrumpetOfGodMinistries.com, if you want to make an offering to the homeless. We supply food and clothing and blankets and coffee, water, and meals, along with free Bibles. And I will provide you with that website is TrumpetOfGodMinistries.com, and I'll provide you with a direct link. Leave me comments, everyone. It's beginning. It has begun.